As of February 2023, there was almost 35,000 crore unclaimed deposits in public sector banks. Now, these unclaimed deposits belong to 10.24 crore accounts and have been transferred to Reserve Bank of India by the end of 2023. Now, unclaimed deposits in public sector banks have shot up 70% in the past 3 years. This according to data shared by the government in Lok Sabha. An unclaimed deposit is a deposit that does not see any activity like an infusion of funds or withdrawal from the depositor for 10 straight years or more and is deemed as an inactive deposit. In most cases, the depositors are presumed to be deceased without a nominee. Now, banks have to report the number of unclaimed deposits and the amount of the same to the RBI. After this, the unclaimed deposits are transferred to central bank's depositors, education and awareness fund. Although banks have been advised to consider launching a special drive for finding the whereabouts of the customers or legal heirs when the accounts become inoperative, there hasn't been much of a headway in this regard. So what are banks actually doing to ensure legal heirs of a bank customer gets the money? We will continue to discuss that and more. My colleague Kartik is with me. Shubhamaya is also joining us. Kartik, coming to you first, it looks like a huge problem, 70% increase in the amount of unclaimed deposits in the past 3 years.
Absolutely. So what worries me is the fact that banks have been very stringent on their KYC norms. They've been very strict and vocal with linking of Aadhaar and PAN card, all these documents to be furnished in the KYC, linked back to the account or any other deposit, not just a bank, even an insurance, even any other financial product that one applies for. Or KYC is a very stringent and potent tool today. And we've seen this Aadhaar revolution on and on for the last decade plus now. So I think if banks try hard enough, it should not be very difficult to find the rightful owner of those deposits. Now, in the case of course, a deceased family member, we've seen even nominees being, mandatory as part of any saving bank account, fixed deposit, mutual funds, insurance policies, the works. Any financial product also has a very equal and strong focus on nominees. So the question that definitely needs to be answered is, are banks trying hard enough? And I've seen cases myself. So for example, when I'd taken an auto loan, a car loan way back in 2005, 2006, completed that loan, it was with a bank account. My salary account had moved to another bank account. And over time, I lost track of whatever 8,000, 10,000 rupees that I had in that bank. About 2-3 years later, when I went back to claim, they said, your account is inoperable because it's been lying dormant for a while and you'll have to deposit another 100 rupees. Thereafter, 3 months later, we will issue a demand draft. So I don't know if the demand draft ever got issued or not and whether the bank updated my home address or not, but that draft never reached me. Okay. And over time, one tends to lose maybe, receipts or bank account numbers or customer IDs, etc. And that money is happily resting now, maybe in some vault of the RBI. But I think strict KYC should ensure that the rightful owner gets the money back. Of course, the plus of this is that, the money is not lying with the bank itself. That money is now going back to the central bank, and the central bank is using it for investor education. It is using it for education and awareness purposes, which means it will possibly, harp more upon KYC, harp more upon best practices for banking, and sort of ensure that that less people are in the situation like the 70% rise that we have seen right now.
Okay, we're yet to get our guests, but let me just, a very interesting, important figure there, 35,000 crores.
It's a huge amount.
It is a huge amount.
It's a huge amount.
And it is going towards some developmental cause, but that's the only good thing about it. I think, and in my personal assessment, banks need to do more in order to reach out to the family members.
You
of
have
these
all the
accounts.
details, you have the KYC, you have the address, and these are people who have visited your branches. These are people you have made phone calls to or have tried to have established some communication with. And I see no reason why it would be so difficult to not find 35,000 crore rupees go back to their original beneficiaries.